Alright guys, it's Rabea from Chapman Guitars. We're at the NAMM show 2017 in Anaheim, California, Los Angeles. And it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to an entirely new range from Chapman Guitars that's basically the result of more or less a year and a half of solid effort in taking in people's feedback from the Chapman Guitars forum, all the people that have been talking to us online, and we've taken all that feedback in and basically come up with a new range that kind of, you know, I suppose provides to those needs. So it's super exciting. So where to start? I guess there's two new ranges. We've got the standard range and the pro range. In other words, an affordable range and a sort of less affordable range, as it were. So where do I start? Literally every guitar you see is a new guitar that we've only just managed to oversee when we flew into LA. So we've got, of course, we've got the Ml1s, 2s and 3s. We've got the Ghost frets. We got some new shapes and some new signature models. So over here, I may as well start by showing you, these are the standard range, and you can tell by the fact that they have a hard lacquer, and we've got inlays. We have dot inlays for the first time in the Chapman Guitars line, I guess. You know, we now have the inlays, and everything's a hard lacquer with a veneer, but we've got the solid mahogany bodies, and then we alternate between maple neck and fretboard, ebony fretboard with a maple neck, and yeah, so that's the standard range. But we wanted to make sure that we kept things for the player's needs, if that makes sense. So things like brass saddles, you know, we wanted to make sure we've custom spec'd all the pickups so that you get a great tone, whether it's the standard range or the pro range, and also the small things like rolling the edges of the fretboards, the sort of contour of the neck and all that kind of stuff. All of it's very fitting to whether it be traditional or modern, so to speak. So with your traditional, it's a bit chunkier, modern's a bit more thin and shreddy. So those are your sort of standard range. We've got the ML3s there. But then to take on from the standard, then we have a pro. Now the pro, as you can see, is quite similar, although we now have a carved top. It's a solid ash body. These pickups we specifically spec'd to sort of represent a vintage T-type guitar. So we've actually spec'd the bridge pickup to represent some of the early 50s T-style guitars. So it's very, very snappy, great if you're into your chicken picking and all the kind of country rock and blues stuff. Again, with the brass saddles, much like the standard range, we wanted to make sure that was compulsory. And then again, a lovely maple neck, maple fretboard, no inlays, but just an all-around great guitar for the job. If we move over here, I'll show you, we've got ML1 standard and pro. So here is, this is an ML1 standard traditional, or ML1 traditional standard. And again, same thing with the brass blocks. We've got 3 single coil pickups. This is an ash veneer, so you get a nice grain on the front in a kind of coffee burst, tobacco burst. Also, it's worth pointing out that between the traditional and modern spec guitars, you'll find things like all the traditional guitars are bolt-on, whereas some of the modern guitars, sorry, some of the pro range are through neck, and it's sort of construction dependent on the style of guitar. So now if I show you a pro version, we have a carved ash top, again a solid ash body, maple neck and fretboard, stainless steel frets, again brass blocks, and the pickups again have been spec'd to be representative of early 50s S-type guitars. Now this is one of my personal favorites in the new range. This is the ML1 Professional Modern, and it's just really nice. This is a solid flame maple carved top guitar, 5mm cap at the edge. It actually goes to about 10mm in the middle. We've custom spec'd the pickups. These are ceramic magnet pickups. We got stainless steel frets, hip shot hardtail. We got open cog hip shot tuners, as you can see, without the swing tag getting in the way. And we just tried to get all the bells and whistles on this, but also make sure that the construction was justified for a professional guitar. So with the whole through neck, which is it's just beautiful, with this custom carve, so that the upper access to the fretboard is just unprecedented. I mean, you can wail away on the 24th fret and not feel a single bit of wood under your hand. It's just great. Really, really enjoy this guitar. We got glow-in-the-dark side dots for all those guys that are gigging that might struggle to see, which is very cool. And again, ebony board, stainless steel frets, rolled edges, and we have an ebony cap on the headstock as well. Just the little things that make it a little bit more luxury. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites in the range so far. And then we have the standard version of the same guitar. So this is the Ml1 Modern Standard. So flame maple veneer. We got a hardtail, hard lacquer, but we still have the ebony board, rolled edges on the fretboards. It's just a little bit more affordable, but it still achieves the same job. And the pickups, as I said before, they're all voiced to be pretty much the same, so you're not losing quality in sound and playability. Now, if I can introduce the next guitar as the most recent collaboratively designed guitar. It's been a long time in the making, but we finally finished it, and it's here for you all to see. This is the MLV. And this is an absolutely stunning purple burst. This guitar was completely voted on by the public. Every last detail of this guitar was voted on by our supporters, followers and fans and customers. And we couldn't be happier with it. Essentially what we've got going on is a solid flame top cap, as you can see, flamed maple cap. We've got ceramic humbuckers, Floyd Rose original. We got stainless steel frets, ebony board. We've got mahogany body with a beautiful set neck construction. Locking tuners, even though it has a locking nut, just for, you know, extra tuning stability and all. And just generally speaking, it's just a beautiful looking guitar. And for all those that like V-shaped guitars, for all those that voted on this guitar, thank you very much for doing so, because I honestly think it's a beautiful looking V-shaped guitar, and I'm personally very happy with it. Now, if we move on, we also have one of the underdogs of the old range was the ML2, because I think a few people wanted more of a Les Paul style guitar, whereas other people wanted something a little bit more Eclipse, I suppose. So we were racking our brains trying to think about how we, you know, please people, how we cater to everyone. Introducing the ML2 Modern Professional. This is one of my favorite finishes, and this is the Fireburst, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's such a nice guitar. Again, flame maple cap. We got mahogany body, and we've got again solid neck through construction, as you can see on the back here. 3-piece maple neck. We got the open hip shot tuners, glow-in-the-dark side dots. As you can see, there's a trend going on here. A lot of the professional range has similar features. One of the things I do like about this guitar is the custom inlays. We spent so long choosing these inlays. I mean, we must have had at least 8 different revisions of possible inlays for this guitar, and it took so long, but we finally landed on these. And I think they're really subtle, but they just make the guitar pop. And I think anyone that wants a traditional hard rock with a modern twist guitar, this would be it. So there you go, that's the ML2 Modern Pro. Now, something I'm very, very proud personally to introduce are my brand new signature model guitars. So I'm just gonna grab one, give me one sec. So this has been a long time in the making, and I'm extremely, extremely proud to introduce it. This is the ML3 Beer. Now, something cool about this guitar that I'll get onto in a minute is that it has a twin brother, which is a slightly more low-endy guitar in terms of pitch. But anyway, this guitar is a solid flamed maple cap, 5mm once again, beautiful smoke charcoal burst, which we spent a long time getting the color right on this. So again, this is a prototype. Some of the features will change, because what I really wanted with this guitar was to create something professional but affordable. I didn't want it to be just kitted out with all the best stuff and then it was unachievable for people to buy if they wanted to. But one of my favorite features on it is the pickups. As you can see, we have a really cool custom looking covered pickup. I've modeled this on one of my favorite pickups of all time, and that's the Bare Knuckle Warpig. And this is essentially my way of allowing people to experience a pickup similar without necessarily having to get hold of one aftermarket and fit it themselves. Of course you can do that, which is the ethos with Chapman Guitars, but this is just to go, I liked that pickup and I have it in all my guitars, so this is kind of what it looks like, you know? Again, we have a beautiful solid African Padauk neck. This is an open pore finish, so what you see here is a very mild, very mild coat of satin lacquer over the top, allowing it to be a natural feeling neck. You know, it doesn't get in your way, it's very fast. And the good thing about Padauk is that it's super sturdy. You know, you can travel around and it won't get too pitchy for you. You won't really have to do too much, if any, truss rod adjustment to this guitar. In fact, I've had the prototypes of this guitar for 2 years nearly, and I've never adjusted the truss rod and it's been fine, and I've traveled all over the place with it. So, yeah, stainless steel frets, locking tuners. We got a Goto 510 TS bridge with a brass block. And it's just a beautiful guitar. We've got the Seymour Duncan pearly gates in the neck, and it rips. I'm very proud of it. But I want to show you its evil twin brother. So this is probably one of my favorite guitars. This is the Ml1 Beer Baritone. So this is a 28-inch scale guitar. Very similar features, alder body, Canadian maple top, but we have a hip shot hardtail on this. The same pickup but with a black cover, same neck pickup, Seymour Duncan pearly gates. We got a solid Padauk neck again, locking tuners, ebony board and stainless steel frets. But we have the 28-inch scale, so you can tune as low. I've actually tuned this down to drop E. I could compete with a bass guitar with this thing. But honestly, if you're into low tuning guitars or something a bit different, I highly recommend you giving it a go. There's a few more guitars in the range if you want me to take you through them. Now, if the telly shape, can I repeat that again? Is that okay? So if the T shape isn't something that you're a fan of, we've actually created a baritone guitar in an S shape, which I'm going to show you now. So this is the Ml1 Baritone Standard. So this is extremely affordable. In the UK, this is going to retail for roughly $479, and we're really excited about this because I think baritone guitars get overlooked a lot in the modern day, and I think all those that like normal feeling six strings should at least experiment with the baritone to see if you can achieve the same results as those 7, 8, 9 string guitars. So we spec ceramic humbuckers in this. It's got a hardtail bridge, ebony fretboard, rolled edges, maple bolt-on construction, mahogany body, locking tuners. This thing will handle, it's a 27-inch scale, and it's a brute. We've got an ash veneer on top to pick up a nice grain as well, so you know, if you want something a little more affordable that is a baritone scale, then I recommend you try this out. Okay, so that's pretty much most of the new range of guitars from Chapman Guitars. As I say, it's been a long time in the making, and we're extremely happy to be here showing it off. So these guitars are all available to order now. If you're a retailer, you can order these straight away, and they're hopefully going to be available sort of in the next sort of 3 or 4 months. And just contact your local retailer or keep an eye out on the Chapman Guitars website for latest availability on these.